It's been 5 years since Ghana started implementing the National Anti-Corruption Action Plan, and according to CHRAJ, not much has been done by both the executive and the legislature. The Commissioner of CHRAJ, Joseph Whittal, says the spate of corruption is threatening the country's quest to achieve the sustainable development goals.
Corruption has been identified as a major root cause of poverty, deprivation, and underdevelopment. In the particular case of Ghana, the high perception of corruption has resulted in poor service delivery and a lot of access to basic necessities of life. In short, the cost of corruption in Ghana is unbelievably extensive and affects the poor and the vulnerable more disproportionately. Though NACAP has been hailed, both in and outside Ghana, as a national anti-corruption strategy of a difference, and which has attracted the attention of the United Nations Office on Drugs and Crime, UNODC, Your Excellency, its implementation has suffered a few setbacks, including, among others, lack of funding to implementing partners, IPs, and low political commitment to its implementation.
Reading the 2018 report, Deputy Commissioner of CHRAJ, Richard Kwasin, says even though not enough efforts have been put in to fight corruption, there is marginal increase in the fight against corruption.
Ghana is gradually bracing up for the fight against corruption. All the reviews were honest about the weaknesses in our anti-corruption efforts, including the systemic challenges. Nevertheless, the reviews also confirmed that we are on the right track, especially with the introduction of the NACAP, and must focus on our efforts and resources to confront corruption and win. I will now turn to the anti-corruption measures or mechanisms that have been introduced to fight corruption over the past years. No doubt, Your Excellency, efforts to confront corruption have improved over the years, especially since the implementation of the National Anti-Corruption Action Plan began in 2015. The NACAP envisions a democratic Ghanaian society which is founded on good governance and imbued with high ethics and integrity.
Vice President Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia said government digitization policy will in the long run tackle corruption.
The nature of the informal society has established ways of doing business, which are very corrupt ways in many ways. So the technologies are going to disrupt corruption. What we are trying to do, because normally when you think about technologies, disruptive technologies, you are thinking about how, for example, Uber is disrupting the taxi business. But when we talk about digitization, we are talking about disrupting corruption, so that you look at systems that will be disruptive of corruption and introduce transparency. So with digitization, what you are trying to do is to stop corruption ex ante and not deal with it ex post. The whole issue of plugging the gap for the sustainable development goals and plugging the gap for Ghana beyond aid and so on lies in this whole digitization and automation, so that we can increase the revenue base. Because once we have our national ID cards all issued, we will know who has filed taxes and who hasn't, because your national ID number will become your TIN number. So at the end of the day, we will know who has filed, who hasn't filed, and where those who haven't filed, they live, because we have your digital addresses as well. So the whole process will be improved.
While Ghana has improved its position in the Corruption Perception Index from 40 to 41, CHRAJ called on governments to do more with the National Anti-Corruption Action Plan until corruption is reduced.